Today we're going to talk about underquoting your labor in fixed fee projects in ConnectWise, or not knowing how good a job you're doing when it comes to quoting your labor in ConnectWise. I'm specifically talking about fixed fee projects. A lot of my professional AV installer clients use ConnectWise, and especially that fixed fee project module. So that's what we're going to be taking a deep dive into today. When you're looking at your ConnectWise system, your ConnectWise PSA, and you go into a project, you're going to take a look at that work plan, and what you should see here are the number of hours that you quoted in your CPQ system, in your quoting system, whatever system it is that you're using for quoting. When those come across, you're going to have a name of a ticket and then the number of hours. Now, if you're doing this effectively and it is those fixed fee product classes or product types, then you're going to see project management, engineering, and installation on site. From here, I know that 20 hours, 15 hours, and 30 hours have been quoted for each of those jobs respectively. Where this gets tricky is when your work roles are not aligned to the same names as this, and so you don't know if what you quoted is what you're actually doing. What I mean by that is project management would be relatively straightforward. So you would have project management, I've quoted 20 hours. If I go into my system setup tables and look at my work roles, I can see here that I have a project manager work role. So if I'm a project manager and I log time against that project, I'll see that there are 20 hours of project management labor quoted, and then maybe I log 25 hours. So I know that for that project, we underquoted the amount of project management time it was going to take. Where this starts to fall apart is when you are quoting in a vague sense or if the language doesn't match. Engineering would be a good example. So I have 15 hours of engineering quoted on this job. But when I go to the work roles in my system, I can see that I have multiple engineering work roles. So in my environment, I have cloud engineers, design engineers, and a system engineer. Did I quote 15 hours for one of those? Is it 15 hours across all three of those? What does that mean? What will likely happen is that the engineers may just log their time against that engineering. We'll go over the 15 hours that was budgeted, but we won't know where we went over, or we won't have any concrete information to feed back to sales and say, hey, we're always underquoting our cloud engineering or our design engineering or whatever it is. And that is really where the value of the ConnectWise budget versus actuals come in. Is you do want to have that feedback. You do want to do a post-op at the end of any of your projects and say, where were we budgeted? Where did we go over? Where are these actuals going over? And how do we iterate and improve that for the next time that we're quoting? Whenever I talk to my clients, if they're setting up their ConnectWise PSA or if they're overhauling their ConnectWise PSA, I really encourage you to make sure that your work roles match the products that you have that you're quoting, so those service class products that you're quoting, and that those all match the terminology that your sales teams use. Once you have all three of those matching, it becomes a lot easier to see how well your sales team is doing, how well you're delivering on those fixed fee projects, and continuously improve using your ConnectWise PSA software.